The following is a presentation of the NBA Development League, home of NBA prospects. Visit NBA.com/D-League to see who makes the jump to the NBA.
Covered just moments ago. Yeah. Give us 2 minutes. 2 minutes, yeah. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, throw on another 30.
Back at the Mass Mutual Center. Wonderful rendition of the national anthem while we were away. And let's get into the starting lineups real quickly, Sam. First for the visiting Maine Red Claws. We mentioned right off the top of the broadcast, 28-point outburst last night, alongside Damon Bell-Holter in the front court. And then you've got in the middle, Romero Osby, actually pronounced Asby, is the center tonight for the Maine Red Claws. In the backcourt, Chris Babb and Abdul Gaddy. For the home Springfield Armor, Adonis Thomas, Dennis Horner, Willie Reed mans the middle, and in the backcourt, point production, look at, from both of these guys, Jameson Curry and Gary Forbes.
Good game from Jameson Curry the other night. Came off the bench and played very well, so the Armor are going to look for some more guys to score the ball at a higher clip. They've struggled as a team scoring the ball, just a shade over 96 per game. That's 15th in a 17-team league, so they're going to have to be a little bit better at that tonight.
Yes, they are. And you mentioned defending the three-pointer. So important this evening for the Springfield Armor. They have really struggled, and Maine comes in tonight, highest percentage point from beyond the arc in the league.
Yeah, they do. We talked a little bit about it in the opening. 4 players shooting at over 40%. Chris Wright, Frank Gaines, Chris Babb, and Corey Allman, all of them shoot well above 40% for the season. So for the Armor, they're going to have to get out there and cover the shooters. They're going to have to prevent them from getting open looks. They didn't do a good job against Idaho on Friday night. They're going to have to be better tonight.
Well, you look at the starting lineups I just mentioned. One of the guys they're really going to have to look to put the clamps on is point guard Abdul Gaddy. He is a pass-first point guard, and he is averaging 4.5 assists per game. That's a guy they're really going to have to look to stop. Moving through the starting lineup for the Maine Red Claws, Chris Wright. We've talked about it. Nickname, Top Flight Wright. Great athletic ability. He's a guy that has been able all season long to score points. Comes into tonight averaging 24.8 points a game and 8.8 rebounds. His rebounding ability is something that has not been questioned. The one thing that Wright needs to improve, the one thing probably, are his ball handling skills. He's got the body of that 3, almost like an Andre Iguodala type body, but he plays a lot like a 4, Chris Wright does. In the middle, hey, you look at Osby, that's a guy to really keep an eye on. First team all Big 12 as a player, and then you also look at the fact, hey, he's a strong guy underneath the basket. He's going to create some space. He's done it all season long.
He has. He's had a fantastic season, fresh out of the college ranks where he played at Oklahoma, 16.8 points per game, just shy of 10 rebounds per game. And he's a guy, he's really going to be a force down there. He can move bodies, he can bang, and he gives this Maine team a good inside presence.
Great player at Oklahoma, and he certainly does give them a real nice inside presence. Armor now being introduced to their home crowd. Big crowd Friday night, not so much tonight, Sam. People still coming through the turnstiles as we speak.
Yeah, we did have a nice opening night crowd, but a lot of different things going on today. Obviously a Sunday afternoon, then of course you factor in that the Patriots are playing right now, NFL football Sunday, so a lot of people are tuned in to the NFL today, but why? We got a great D-League game in front of us this afternoon.
We sure do. I know you and I are dialed in, and the Armor Faithful has come out tonight, or this afternoon. You got to remember, this is an afternoon game. So often we say, tonight, tonight, tonight. Big afternoon game, and we talked about it off the top of the broadcast. It'll be very interesting. I want to keep an eye on the legs of the Maine Red Claws. They played last night at 7 o'clock. Hop on a bus, and now here they are.
Suffered their first loss of the season last night, falling to Idaho. Continues to just play fantastic basketball. Idaho still unbeaten on the year. But this Maine team, they're a good team. You also got to keep in mind, it wasn't right. They did get in early, but it's only about 4 hours from Portland, Maine, so we'll see what sort of factor it has this afternoon.
The Maine Red Claws D-League affiliate of the NBA Boston Celtics as they take to the floor. Red uniforms, white lettering, white trim. Springfield Armor, D-League affiliate of the Brooklyn Nets, take to the floor. Adonis Thomas darting off the bench. D-League rookie, potential NBA rookie, can't wait to get after it. Armor's uniforms, gray, white lettering and numbering, blue trim. Gary Forbes, Willie Reed, Dennis Horner, James Song Curry, Adonis Thomas, Romero Asby, Chris Wright, Chris Babb, Abdul Gaddy, Damon Bell-Holter for the Maine Red Claws. Referees, Jason Goldberg, Josue Nieves, and Kyle Regetz. Reed set to jump it up with Damon Bell-Holter. And Jason Goldberg will do the honors. Tip is hit by Bell-Holter, but into the hands of Gary Forbes in the Armor. We'll start it off. Reed pounds his way to the hoop. Running jump hook. Well.
Good hustle, though, underneath by Horner. Good, kept that ball alive, and the Red Claws were the last to touch it.
Gary Forbes coming off a 26-point performance Friday night. Played through the flu, now at 100%. Should be nice to watch him play tonight. Ball knocked out of bounds. Stay right here. 12 on the shot clock for the Armor. James Song Curry, left hash, top of the key. Dennis Horner, pump fakes from beyond the arc, pulls the trigger. Shot clock violation. Armor attempted 2 shots on that possession. Neither of them hit the rim.
Not a good start for the Armor. Horner forced into a tough three-pointer from that far corner, and it came up a bit short. See what the Armor can do this afternoon on the defensive end now.
Abdul Gaddy goes to Chris Babb. To Chris Wright, top flight Wright. Incredible athletic ability, called up by the Golden State Warriors in 2012. Top of the key. Pulled the trigger, Damon Bell-Holter. off the mark. He is 0 for 8 this year from beyond the arc. Left wing, Horner, off the front of the iron. He is 0 for 2 early on. But he fights for the basketball and gets it. Nice hustle by Horner before he throws it away.
Horner maybe should have gone up with that one on his own.
Chris Wright in the open floor loses the basketball. And on the right side, it's Asby. Asby to the hole. Ball is deflected. Out of bounds. Will stay right here. 15 on the shot clock.
So far, a good job defensively by the Armor. No open shots for the Red Claws thus far.
Gaddy to pull the trigger. Left side to Chris Babb. Damon Bellholter. Back to Babb. From the right side, Asby. Jumper. Good. So it's 2-0. The Armor trail the Red Claws. Gary Forbes. Off the mark. Knocked out of his hands by Asby. Top of the key, Babb moves to his right side. Whistle. Fouls on Jameson Curry. His first. And with 15 on the shot clock, Chris Wright will inbound. Another whistle. Another foul. Fouls on Adonis Thomas, his first. 2-0 Red Claws. Early on. 10:08 left. First quarter. Pete Souza, Sam Dossler. Armor, Red Claws running from the Mass Mutual Center. Sunday afternoon. Babb darts to the hole. Off the glass and good.
It's what we saw Pierre Jackson do a lot the other night for Idaho. Get into the paint and convert on some easy layups. Babb did the same thing there.
Nice find by Curry. But a whistle is blown. We've got a foul. Foul's on Bellholter. His first. 19 on the shot clock. Thomas pulled the trigger. Jameson Curry, natural born scorer, loses the handle.
Curry had a good game last game, 19 points on 7 of 15 shooting, and a much-needed lift for the Armor from behind the arc. He was 3 for 5. And Springfield really needs someone to step up from deep. They're not shooting well, just over 23% from the three-point arc this year.
Gary Forbes to the hole. Dipsy Do. Shots off the mark. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Armor.
Good look by Forbes, just couldn't get it to fall.
Babb takes the ball across half court. Right side to Asby. Top of the key, it's Chris Wright. Wright spinning, loses the basketball off of his foot. Turnover for the Red Claws.
It's interesting, Forbes running the point a lot for
Native Brooklyn, born in Panama. 111 games in the NBA. Not a bad guy to have running from school. Willie Reed. From the right block. Fades away off the side of the backboard. Not exactly what Coach Overton wanted. Yeah, I'm sure.
0 for 5, the Armor in the early going. Very good defense by the Red Claws to start things off.
Pounding the ball off the hardwood and pounding to the basket is Asby. But he's fouled by Horner and he'll shoot 2.
Asby did a good job getting position in the paint. And Horner, about the only thing he could do is to commit the foul to prevent the easy 2.
Asby, second round draft pick by the Magic. Waived in training camp.
Had a solid season at Oklahoma last year, 16 points per game, and shot it at over 50% from the field and from three-point.
All Big 12. Misses both free throws. Think about. Armor trail 4-0. 15 on the shot clock. Forbes operates on the right wing. 26 points Friday night for Forbes. Fade away. Looked like somebody got a piece of it. We'll say it was Babb.
I think you're right. I think Babb did get a piece of that one, but a fortuitous bounce for the Armor as it fell right into the arms of Willie Reed.
Who would make no mistake, 4-2. Red Claws lead. Right wing Asby. Pumps it to the left side, it's Babb. Nice rotation by Maine. Babb will have a good look at a three. Shots off the mark for top flight right. Right there to pull down the rebound and go back up with it.
Good ball movement resulted in that open look from the corner.
James Curry wasting no time.
That's what James Curry can bring to a team. He's quick, he can get up and down the floor, and that time he beat most of the Red Claws defense back, got into the lane, made a nice move, got to the hoop and drew the foul. Now they'll have a chance at a three-point play. That's the sort of spark that the Armor need. They need some easy baskets.
Marcel Anderson checks into the game for the Red Claws. As Curry tries to complete the three-point play. Off the mark. Curry registered the first Gatorade call-up in Armor history to the Los Angeles Clippers in the 2009-2010 season.
Second stint for Curry with the Armor, played in the Venezuelan Pro League last year and back this year.
Banging to the hole is Bell Holter. He's got 2 points. Maine with a 4-point lead. Curry tried to get it to Horner. Picked off. Babb to right. To the hammer.
And Babb knew who the guy that could throw it down with authority was. He saw that right was running with him, and he dropped it off to him, and the right-handed slam came the foul out.
4 points for Wright early.
Forbes down underneath the basket.
Reed. Jump hook, no. Anderson tried to get it to Bell Holter, couldn't find the handle.
Didn't see what happened, but Forbes went down in a heap underneath the Armor basket. He was making a cut along the baseline, and he just went down to the ground.
Forbes hobbles to the sideline. Trainer Mark Mahoney will take a look at him. We'll step aside. Maine 10, Armor 4. You're listening to Sports Radio 1450 The Hall on the NBA Development League Network.
30 seconds, Vice. Apparently only one line is being forgot. I don't know. I mean, we said Jose. Take it. How long, Vice?
Back at the Mass Mutual Center. Armor trail by 6. Justin Johnson checks into the game to replace Gary Forbes. We'll wait on word of his injury. James Curry again wasting no time off the mark. Rebound Maine. On the attack is Asby. Tangled up with Reed. Ball caroms to Babb. Whistle. Jason Goldenberg going to restore order and put 20 on the shot clock here. Doug Overton letting James Curry know Chris Babb can shoot. Bell Holter. Left side, Asby. Here's Babb. Babb launches a three off the mark. Bell Holter offensive board. Fadeaway no good. Asby. Another shot at it for Maine, and he makes no mistake.
Third chance bucket there for the Red Claws. Asby got the final one and laid it in.
Horner dribbles towards his bench and finds Justin Johnson, who finds the bottom of the basket with the teardrop.
Good pump fake by Johnson, got into the lane and hit the teardrop.
Anderson, penetration. He answers with a teardrop of his own.
Over the long arms of Willie Reed, the single-season block leader for the Armor last year with 85.
And Johnson goes right back at Anderson. Shimmy shake off the glass and good. Looks like these two are ready to tango, Sam.
Johnson, a guy who can score it off the bench, scored 24 the other night for the Armor, and we're going to need a little bit more out of him off the bench this afternoon.
14-8. Maine with the advantage. Bellholzer trying to add to that advantage. Can't do it. Corner flies for the rebound. Comes down with it, and here come the Armor. Justin Johnson playing in traffic. Alley-oop to Willie Reed, who slams it home.
Just our second game of the season, as it's the Armor's second home game, Pete, but this is the most spark we've seen the Armor play with in a little over 4.5 quarters now.
On this Sunday afternoon, Justin Johnson is point guard. His quarterback rating, pretty good so far. To the hole, off the pass, and no good for Asby. We've got a foul. We've got a timeout, too. We'll step aside with Maine leading 14-10, 4:24 left first quarter. You're listening to Sports Radio 1450 The Hall and watching the NBA Development League Network. Back at the Mass Mutual Center, Pete Souza, Sam Dossler, Sunday afternoon, NBA D-League action. 4:24 left in the first quarter. Maine Red Claws with a 14-10 advantage over the Springfield Armor. The Red Claws coming to Springfield on the heels of a loss last night at home at Idaho. But have stormed out of the gate, Sammy, to a 4-point advantage.
They have. They've gotten off to a quick start. Shooting it pretty good from the field. 7 of 14, 50%. They're 0 for 3 from 3, but 50% from the floor, and that's why they're on top by 4.
Romero Asby at the free throw line. Second round pick by the Orlando Magic, 51st overall. Waived by the Magic and acquired by the Maine Red Claws.
He's one of those guys that you look at and you just think he has an NBA body. And with the numbers he's putting up in the D-League, you'd have to think some teams will start giving him a look eventually.
17 points per game this season and almost 10 boards. Justin Johnson to the hole. Goaltend by Ty Walker. The shot blocker got his hand on that one, but he did so illegally.
And the Armor know all about Walker, who had 8 blocks against Springfield in the team's opening game of the season about 10 days ago or so.
Nobody at Wake Forest had more blocks than Ty Walker in the history of the school. Jumper from the right corner is good for Frank Gaines. Got to keep an eye on him. He is a natural-born scorer. Talk about record setters. He's the all-time leader in IPFW point scoring history. Tied up on the floor. But before we got a jump ball, we got a kick ball. Maine going to have a chance to add to their 7-point advantage.
Tough break for Justin Johnson there as he slipped. It looked like his back heel came out from under him and led to the turnover.
Romero Asby inbounds to Marcel Anderson. Walker controls. Keep an eye on the Reed and Walker showdown. Two long, lean, athletic guys. Asby spinning to the hole. No good. Rebound Hubbard. Armour go the other way. Johnson, who has taken command of this offense, moves to the right side, and it's Curry. Curry fades away against the double team. Knocks down a jumper.
Tough shot by James on. Got 4 points on the afternoon. And he's going to knock that down. The Armour can be dangerous.
Top of the key, Frank Gaines. Left corner, Anderson. Jump pass by Anderson to Walker. Jump hook is good.
Willie Reed got sucked away from underneath the basket. His man rolled to the hoop, and it led to the easy layup. Reed's got to do a little bit better of a job staying at home.
Curry doing a fine job getting to the basket there. Draws two dishes to Reed, who was denied by Walker. First block of the game for Walker. Anderson in traffic. Tried to get it to Wright. Wright couldn't handle it. Ball caroms to Anderson in the corner. Shots off the mark.
Bit of a convoluted possession there for the Red Claws, but it led to an open three-pointer. They just couldn't knock it down.
Timeout on the floor. Armour trail by 7, 21-14 on this NFL Sunday. 2:16 left in the first quarter. Sports Radio 1450 The Hall and the NBA Development League Network. Back at the Mass Mutual Center, Pete Souza, Sam Dossler. Armour trail by 7. December, or We're in December 28th.
So he's got that birthday around Christmas time. Always a little bit of an awkward time for a birthday. You know? Christmas presents, birthday presents. When do you give them?
For some people, they look at it as double trouble, right? Other people say, hey, what about me? Who's this Jesus guy? Or however you celebrate the holiday.
I always feel like you get less, because it's not an issue for me, but that's just the way I look at it for other people. It's all clumped together.
Corey Almond into the game for me. Watch him from beyond the arc. He's a three-point specialist. Ball's knocked out of bounds off of Asby's leg. Jeff Foote into the game. Inbounds to Justin Johnson, who was a perfect 3 of 3 on the afternoon with 6 points.
I'd like to see the Armor maybe try to get Jeff Foote involved. Had a good game, a double-double against Maine last time.
Hubbard squeezes the trigger from the top of the key and knocks down a 3.
Saw him take a three-pointer in the game on Friday night, knocks down his first three-pointer of the season.
Almond splits the double team. Nice move to the rack. Shot's no good. And Hubbard, making his presence felt, grabs the rebound. Johnson working on Anderson.
A lot of size out there right now for the Armor.
Hubbard, 6 on the shot clock. Gonna launch another 3. Off the mark. Anderson flying into the forecourt. Loses the basketball, and here come the Armor. Forbes can't convert in transition. Fighting for the rebound is Gary Forbes.
Second time we've seen Forbes miss a layup this afternoon. Had one in the lane that went off the back of the iron. This time he misses in transition.
Promptly commits a foul. Jason Goldenberg working on the shot clock. Coach Doug Overton's going to take advantage. Gary Forbes and Justin Johnson move over towards their head coach. Doug Overton and his team trailing by 4 right now. There's 52 seconds left in the first quarter. Romero Asby will be at the free throw line on the season. Asby shooting 65% from the charity stripe. On the evening, he's 2 of 4. He's got 4 points this afternoon, Sam.
Playing well so far as we have a little bit of a clock malfunction, it looks like. Trying to figure it out, get penciled a second on there.
Well, we're going to keep playing and then see if we can regroup at the quarter break. Asby can't deliver once again. He is 2 of 5 from the free throw line this afternoon.
Red Claws struggling as a team from the foul line.
Make that 2 of 6. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Frank Gaines. Armor basketballs. Chris Wright checks into the game for Asby.
Asby, not a spectacular foul shooter, but much better than he's showing so far. That 2 for 6, uncharacteristic as he came in shooting at a 65% clip.
You talk about a couple good-looking athletes. Chris Wright and Marcus Hubbard ready to go toe-to-toe here. Talking to Hubbard before the game about Chris Wright, he said, hey, he had 28 points last night. I'm going to try to cut that in half to 14. He said, you can't stop him. You can only try to contain him.
That's the type of attitude Doug Overton wants. He wants his team to be more defensively oriented.
And that's the type of offense Coach Overton wants. Nice junk hook there by Adonis Thomas, his first 2 points of the game. Lead is now just 2 with 34 seconds left in the first quarter. Maine with that lead. 3-point attempt. Good for Almond. And Almond, we mentioned, that's the guy you got to get a hand in his face.
Came in 5 of 11 from 3-point. Knocks that one down. The Armor Still got to do a better job defending that arc.
10 on the shot clock. Justin Johnson. Left side to Thomas. Thomas coming off a nice jump hook. Tries to convert with the fadeaway. Can't do it. 3 on the clock. Shot clock turned off. Here's Anderson. Shot is blocked in transition by Hubbard. And the Armor will trail by 5 going into the quarter break. 24-19, Maine leads. We'll step aside. You're listening to Sports Radio 1450, The Hall, and watching the NBA Development League Network. Back at the Mass Mutual Center as we get set to tip off the second quarter. Armor trail by 5, 24-19. Thanks in part to some hot shooting early on by Maine. Shooting almost 48% from the floor are the Red Claws. Compare that to the Armor's 41%. But from beyond the arc, Maine comes in it tonight, percentage-wise shooting better than any other team in the D-League, Sam. Just 33%.
Yeah, so far the Armor are doing a pretty good job defending that three-point arc. Only a couple open looks from deep for Maine, so that's something Springfield they're going to have to continue to focus on, because they can't have another night like they had on Friday, where for much of the game Idaho was shooting at above 50%.
Armor getting set to inbound now. A little change of things now. The Armor were set to inbound. Referee Jason Goldenberg says not so fast. Red Claws basketball. Marcel Anderson across half court meets Justin Johnson. It's been a good matchup so far between the two of those guys. Johnson with 6 points. Anderson with 4. Chris Wright powers his way to the hole. Skyhook is no good. Feisty Corey Allman gets caught reaching. Allman played last year in Morocco, where he averaged 24 points. Was in training camp in 2011 with the San Antonio Spurs. Is a guy you have to keep an eye on from beyond the arc. Right there. Referee Jason Goldenberg had an eye on him, caught him reaching. Gary Forbes, 26 points Friday, 2 points right there. He's got 5 on the afternoon.
Forbes might have got away with a little bit of a push shot, had 2 hands on the back of the defender, but made the catch and converted the shot.
Gaines off the glass, no good. Justin Johnson says, let's go. Left side, Hubbard works on right. Tried to find foot underneath the basket. Ball caroms out to Thomas. He misses the jump. Play stopped right here. Kyle Riggins, the official, going to get it down as Thomas with a foul. His second.
Good look for Thomas on the offensive end. Just came up a bit short. The Armor continued to try to get back into this one. They trailed by as many as 7 in that first half. First quarter.
Defensive stop for Bruce Massey into the game for the Armor. Ty Walker, errant pass, knocked out of bounds. Stay right here. 14 on the shot clock.
And Massey nearly walked right into a steal there. Dangerous pass into the lane, and Massey hadn't been so surprised with it. He might have been able to make a catch.
Defensive Player of the Year last year in the Sun Belt. Look for more of that from him. Right, tangled up with Hubbard. Finds a way to finish.
Hubbard took a pretty good slap at the ball. Good finish.
Justin Johnson, he's got 8 points. Itchy trigger finger tonight for Johnson, and why not? He's perfect from the floor.
You know, Springfield, one thing they've done well so far this season, their bench has scored well. In the last 2 games, they've outscored the opponent's bench 124-58, and Johnson is providing a nice boost off the bench so far today.
Right, banging with Hubbard once again. This time, Marcus is whistled for the foul. Chris Wright will go to the free throw line. Chris Wright, Sam, the guy who NBA personnel people talk about with all the tools. Now, he looks like an NBA player. Plays like it sometimes. Problem is, he's a 4 stuck in a 3's body. He could develop a little bit better of a handle, people around the NBA say. He'd be a guy who would stick.
It makes it tough. He's a bit undersized at that 4 position, just 6'8". And it's unfortunate because he does have a lot of the tools. He can step away and shoot it. He can go to the hoop. He's athletic as anybody out here.
Incredible athletic ability. Nicknamed Top Flight Right has been earned.
And we've seen some of that athletic ability so far this afternoon, especially with that dunk he had in transition.
28-23. Maine leads. Justin Johnson. This time, he's off the mark. First miss of the evening for Johnson. Right side. Almond. Can't leave him undressed like that. Knocks down a 3.
The Armor, they lost Almond in transition, and it resulted in an open 3-pointer.
Hubbard in the face of a double team. Shot blocked by Walker. Outside, Anderson left alone.
Not necessarily you're the guy, that's the guy you want to shoot the open 3-pointer. Anderson, just 3 of 14 on the year, but the Armor are the last to touch it, so it'll be the Red Claws with a fresh shot clock and a new possession.
Bell Holter and Babb check into the game. They replace Walker and Gaines. 9:27 left. Second quarter. Maine with an 8-point advantage. Left side, right. Elevates. Off the mark. Armor in transition. Massey way off. Hubbard right there.
Hubbard cleared some space underneath the rim and caught the errant shot. He's got 5.
Back. Penetration. Ball goes out of bounds. Fouls on Massey. Six-point edge for Maine. 14 on the shot clock. Right. Hands off to Babb. Babb. Reverse layup off the glass is good.
Babb, the Iowa State product, could really score it while he was with the Cyclones and continues to be a good scorer here in the D-League.
Johnson trying to register double figures in the scoring column. Can't do it. Anderson always on the go. Bell Holter on the block, working on Reed. Willie got a hand on the basketball. They're going to say he got a hand on Bell Holter as well.
That was close. I think Willie Reed did drop those hands at the last moment. Tough break for him because he had played some solid defense on Bellholter.
Bellholter was in training camp with the Celtics. They liked him so much. Well, they didn't like him that much, otherwise they wouldn't have waived him, but they liked him just enough to allocate him to their D-League team here in Maine. Was raised in Heidenberg, Alaska. Population 350. He's got 3 points. Forbes, top of the key. Working on right. Raises. Knocks down a jumper.
And that's why Forbes is an NBA-type player. Knocked down the jumper right in the face of Wright. A nice move.
Right. Trying to get his. Loses the basketball. Out of bounds. Wright wanted the foul. Looking at Kyle Riggets. The referee saying, hey, did you see that? Riggets didn't. No foul call. Bellholter looks to the three. Probably a bad idea. He is 0 for the year with 8 attempts going off the mark. Bad. Squeezes the trigger as the shot clock expires. Can't get it to fall.
Something to note, we talked about how Maine is playing back-to-back right now. They've already played 9 players for at least 4 minutes in this game, so doing a good job rotating guys in and out. No one's played more than 15 minutes, so they want to keep the legs fresh down the stretch.
Mike Taylor, his second year as head coach of the Red Claws, doing a nice job with rotation. Willie Reed can't get it to fall. Chris Wright reels in an errant pass, but can't find the handle. Thomas underneath. And traffic, he's fouled.
And that was a nice find by Justin Johnson, finding Thomas in the lane. Threaded the needle, now Thomas is rewarded with 2 shots at the foul line.
Adonis Thomas, a player who the Brooklyn Nets like, a player who Doug Overton likes. A lot of upside. You hate that word upside, but hey, when it's the real deal, it's the real deal. He's got a lot of it. Eager to learn, too. Making his first free throw, got a nice jump shot. That's indicative of a guy who, as athletic as Thomas is willing to work at it.
You always love the guy who's willing to work at it, and the Nets saw just that when they had him earlier in the year, and that's why he's hanging around. That's why he's still in the Nets organization. They didn't want to lose his rights.
Abdul Gaddy controls left side. Bellholter on the block. Strong move to the hole by Bellholter. And we got Chris Wright with the foul.
Just the first, though, on Wright this afternoon.
.6:54 left, second quarter. Armor trail by 5. Justin Johnson will orchestrate from just inside half court. Looking to cut into that lead. Forbes off the dribble. Willie Reed, rambunctious underneath, slamming home the foul.
Up over the back of his own teammate, Hubbard.
Babb loses the basketball in the backcourt. They're going to say Thomas touched it. Play resumes. Justin Johnson gets a kick ball, but Doug Overton wants to talk over that last sequence with Jason Goldenberg.
And I'll tell you what, I think the Red Claws got a break there. I think that definitely went off the foot of Babb. I'm not sure that any Armor player got a hand on it.
Gaddy to the hole. Absorbing contact. Whistle's blown. Fouls on Forbes. Gaddy, a pass first point guard, finds himself at the free throw line. does a great job of getting everyone else involved in the offense. Right there, he called his own number.
4.5 assists per game for Gaddy.
He's in training camp with the Bobcats out of the University of Washington. Shots off the mark. This is both free throws. Maybe that's why he's a pass-first guy. Johnson loses Gaddy. Teardrop is good. 10 points for Justin Johnson.
Good impact by Johnson off the bench. First player for either team in double digits.
Cam Taylor off the bench at the end of the game. Top of the key. Asby's three is true.
And Asby for a big, we talked about it. He can step away from the hoop and shoot the three. Just 4 of 16 on the year coming in, but shot the three ball at over 50% last year at Oklahoma.
Gary Forbes, always on the attack. Has not gotten the calls this afternoon, but a lot of contact around Gary on the offensive end. He's got 6 points.
Forbes has just got to keep going to the basket and make things happen.
Nice cut by Bell Holter and a nice finish by Bell Holter.
Emphatically, he finished over Hubbard, who came over from the weak side and tried to send it back where it came from. But Bell Holter with some authority for the big fella.
Marcus Hubbard was late to the party and he paid for it. Left side Hubbard on the attack. Jump shots off the mark. Rebound Bell Holter. Gaddy. Gets a screen from Bell Holter trying to take advantage. Pick and roll Holter. This time, Willie Reed gets in his face and rejects the ball.
Good activity by Reed underneath the basket so far in this game on both sides of the ball.
Justin Johnson going to pull it out. Screen from Reed. In the middle of the lane again. Johnson been so active from right there. Can't get it to fall. In transition, Cam Taylor. Too much going on there. Turnover, Armor basketball.
Hubbard down behind the play.
He's got a technical foul. Excuse me. We've got a timeout on the floor. So the Armor is going to take a timeout. And it's a full timeout, so we'll step aside. Maine 39. Springfield 35, 4:18 left before halftime. Sports Radio 1450 The Hall, the NBA Development League Network. Back at the Mass Mutual Center. Getting set to get things back underway here. The Armor trail by 4, 39. Now they trail by 6 as they're working on the scoreboard here. And I am confused, which is nothing new. 41-35. Maine leads.
Join the party there, Pete, right?
Justin Johnson to Dennis Horner. Horner back into the basketball game.
Long rest for Horner, sat on the bench for quite some time.
Steal by Gaines. Fouled in the open floor. It's quite possible they got Forbes again. And they did.
That's the third foul on Forbes, who's been looking for calls underneath all afternoon long. Hasn't really gotten anything. He's got nailed for 3 on his own.
Frank Gaines, the all-time leader in IPFW history with 1,841 points.
Nothing to frown at, the All-Summit League first teamer. A very good college basketball player.
4 points on the afternoon for Gaines. 11 on the shot clock. On the attack is Forbes. Up and under, off the glass, good.
Good hesitation dribble by Forbes as he worked himself into the lane and converted on the layup.
Bab penetrates, pulls it out. Bell Holster now. Left side, Cam Taylor took too many steps.
Just the 7th turnover by the Red Claws on the afternoon.
Justin Johnson has managed this game quite well for the Army. Underneath, Forbes manages to find a cutting Willie Reed, who rams it home.
Nice cut by Reed, and even better find by Forbes as Reed was able to power it home. Good eyes.
Chris Babb finds himself in trouble. Finds Asby, who finds nothing but air. Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. 42-39. Maine with the advantage. 2:55 left. Sports Radio 1450 The Hall. The NBA Development League Network. Back at the Mass Mutual Center, Pete Souza, Sam Dossler, NBA Development League on this Sunday afternoon. The Maine Red Claws clinging to a 3-point advantage over the Springfield Armor. The visiting Maine Red Claws have showed some resilience, Sam, energy-wise. Played a game last night at home against Idaho, a game in which they lost. Got on the bus last night, and here they are.
Yeah, they have shown some resiliency. They've led throughout. They've led from wire to wire so far. Game hasn't even been tied yet. They have gone 10 deep, however, trying to keep those legs fresh are the Red Claws for down the stretch.
Left side, Gary Forbes finds Reed. Willie's jumper is off the mark. Horner tries to clean up the mess, and his shot is goaltended. Ty Walker whistled for the goaltend. Cam Taylor loses the handle. Justin Johnson comes up with it. The feisty Johnson. Justin almost throws it away. Last touch by Maine.
Johnson got moving a bit too quick there, got out ahead of his teammates, and almost got stuck in the lane. Fortunately for him, his pass out, back outside the perimeter was tipped, and the Armor have a chance to reset.
9 on the shot clock for Springfield. Left side forward. 3 try is good. And the Armor have a lead.
First lead of the game for the Armor. And that was a nice pass by Johnson. Forbes was able to catch it right in flow.
Asby right side. Now it's Cam Taylor. Ty Walker. Good. Locked at 44. Johnson likes what he sees. To the hole. Nice job getting his body between himself, the basketball, and Ty Walker.
Johnson darted right into the lane. 17 minutes off the bench, 12 points.
Aston's floater, no good. Gets his own rebound before he loses it. Referee's letting him play. Gary Forbes going to play on. Johnson shoots to the hole. Picks up his dribble, finds Horner. Dennis dials from long distance and is off the mark.
Good look by Horner, just couldn't get it to fall. He struggled from deep this season, hasn't hit one yet, but he's a guy who can knock him down.
Nice inlet from Taylor to Asby. He'll take another trip to the free throw line.
It's been a struggle for Asby from the line today, 2 of 6. It's been a struggle for Maine as a team, just 6 of 14. They're actually shooting a better percentage from the field at just under 45% than they are at the line, 42.9.
Another miss for Asby. 65% coming into this game, this early in the season. I'm not a mathematician, but that percentage has changed drastically. Second attempt is good. 10 points, though, for Asby. 1 point Armor advantage. Forbes. Willie can't handle the pass. Cam Taylor moves into the forecourt. Chris Wright finishes off the glass.
Poor job by the Armor getting back. Transition defense there, and the Red Claws took advantage of it. Now Springfield can hold for the final shot of the half.
Johnson. Foul. Late whistle, but a deserved whistle.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Peter. It's the right call, but it came well after the fact. The ball had actually gotten to the rim and almost got into the floor before the whistle was blown. And I don't think head coach of Maine, Mike Taylor, is going to dispute the call, just the timing of it.
Johnson, for his 13th point, had a career high 24 last Saturday at Maine. Possibly looking to eclipse that mark tonight. Marcus Hubbard checks into the game for the Army. Defensive substitution there by Coach Doug Overton. .7 on the clock. Maine's going to have to hurry. Babb does just that. 3-point attempt around and out. And the Armor will take the lead into the locker room. 48-47. Pete Souza, Sam Dossler. We'll be back with some halftime stats and information. You're listening to Sports Radio 1450 The Hall and watching the NBA Development League season.
Yeah. 4 minutes?
Yeah.
4 minutes, Vice. 4 minutes, yep.
we sound better?
Do we sound better? Jose, hey.
We do. We sound better?
So, Jose, okay, I'm going to go talk to Jose, all right?
Yeah. Find out if it's good.
Yeah.
Because Jose needs me to talk, okay? I'm gonna keep talking. Chris Martridge is talking. I could use some water, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Chris, you can? Chris is gonna give me some water. A different Chris. Not bad. And so we had this thing. I guess the Phantom was not turned. It was turned on. Chris, does that make sense? You think so? Yeah, the Phantom was. We sounding any better? No better. I'm gonna play with some stuff. Just keep looking now. That's up. How about this? Does this sound better? Better now? Jose, I need you to look at me so I can tell. Check 1 2. 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 Yeah, we need a little more time.
and start going. All right. Back at the Mass Mutual Center. The Armor with a 1-point advantage. Gary Forbes finds Dennis Horner. To the rim goes Dennis, and he's fouled. An emphatic move by Horner draws a foul from Damon Bell-Holter. Second on the afternoon for Bell-Holter as Dennis will go to the charity stripe, where on the season he is close to 80% at 79%.
Two points this afternoon for Dennis Horner, a native of Linwood, New Jersey. South Jersey, close to Philadelphia. Rumor has it that the Philadelphia area is getting belted with snow right now, and Dennis gonna make it rain from the free throw line as he hits the second straight. And if you're listening on the NBA Development League Network, we've been having technical problems all afternoon, and I've just gotten word that they have been solved. So you can hear Sam and I now crystal clear.
And you know, you mentioned the rumored snow that we're getting in Philadelphia. I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed. We had the, you're a Philly guy, we had the Eagles game up for a little while, and let me tell you, that snow, it was coming down. You could barely make out the players on the field, and you got a feel for the Eagles announcers there. The Eagles wearing white uniforms with that white snow against the Lions.
Right side, Asby controls. Back in the corner, it's Chris Wright. Asby. Open look at a three, can't get it to fall. James Son Curry. Whistle. Referee Jason Goldenberg.
You know,
got Damon Bell-Holter with the foul. Go ahead, Sammy.
Something we didn't note when we went into the break. That was the first lead the Armor have held at the halftime stanza all season long. They were tied up at one point, but that was the first time they led going into a break.
Forbes three try off the mark.
That tie was 47-47 in a game earlier this season at Canton.
Asby. Pass deflected by Thomas. Hands up Harry defense by Adonis Thomas. Adonis active on the offensive end, glides to 2 points.
Good take going baseline by Thomas, got into the lane and laid it in. Armor have their largest lead at 5 points. Wright might have got away with a push-off there.
Wright dribbles behind his back and converts. You got to wonder, Sam, at what point did the Red Claws possibly lose their legs after playing last night? The 7 o'clock affair and tipping things off here at 3 in the afternoon. Horner tees up a three, no good.
You wonder if it's already started them possibly losing the legs. They led by as many as 8 in that first half, but slowly the Armor chipped away, and the Armor really controlled the last half of that second quarter. And that's why they went into the break with the halftime lead. So if you're Springfield, you really want to get the ball and just go. You want to try to beat them back in transition and make things happen in the open floor.
We've seen a lot of that this afternoon from the Armor. We've also seen it, surprisingly so, from the Red Claws. Babb going to pull the trigger. Chris Wright with the follow off the glass is good. Wright showing that athletic ability off.
Quickest man off the floor on that tip back.
Right side, Gary Forbes. 111 NBA games under the belt of Gary Forbes as he moves towards the hole. Using his body, can't finish, but Willie Reed can.
Good tenacity on the boards that time from Willie Reed. Missed the first tip back, but got it back and converted on the second.
3-point advantage for the Armor as Babb goes towards the hole and draws a foul.
Good idea by James on Curry trying to step in and take the charge, but he was moving, slid in a bit too late.
Fouls on Curry, his second. Babb will shoot 2. 63% from the free throw line this season. Training camp with the Celtics. Summer League with the Celt. Suns. First free throw attempt is off the mark.
One of the things we talked a lot about in the opening was the Armor struggles defensively against the three-point shooting. Yes, on Friday, Idaho 15 of 33. Today, doing a much better job. The Red Claws just 4 of 15.
Second attempt for Babb is good. And the lead for the Armor is 2. Gary Forbes, right side. Screen from Willie Reed. Penetration off the glass. Forbes is true.
Had to arc it up high off the glass because the shot blocker, Ty Walker, was right there.
And there he is again. Ty Walker off the feed from Anderson. Finishes the alley-oop.
Willie Reed lost him as Reed was trying to get back on the defensive end.
Forbes, who we've seen so often operating from the right side with the basketball, has it back on the left side. And with 5 on the shot clock, the native of Panama will have to hurry. Whistle, foul on the floor. Jason Goldenberg going to get Asby.
And Asby did not like that one. Asby pleading his case, saying that the arm of Forbes was extended.
First foul for Asby. 14 on the shot clock. Horner to Thomas. Adonis off the mark. And Marcel Anderson leads the Red Claws on offense. Asby, jab step. Wide open for a 3 is Anderson. Knocks it down.
You know, the Armor tried to do something a little bit different there. They sent Curry to double team down on the block. It left Anderson wide open. Anderson just 3 of 14 from three-point coming into the game, but he made the Armor pay that time.
Gary Forbes off the dribble, off the glass, off the mark. Babb hits the floor hard. And Gary Forbes hit with another foul. Fourth foul for Gary Forbes.
Feet got a bit tangled up in their half court, and Forbes also tugged the right side of the jersey of Babb's on his way by, trying to slow him up a little bit. The trailing official was there with the call.
Josue Nieves with the whistle there. Forbes going to stay in the game with 4 fouls. Asby to the rack. Off the mark, Reed pulls down the rebound. Curry in a hurry. Trying to get the ball to Thomas. Knocked away by Wright. Stay right here. 18 on the shot clock.
As you can hear Doug Overton calling for zipper wide here.
Jameson Curry spinning. Loses the basketball as Jameson seemed to lose control right around the free throw line, but he draws a foul.
Good defense, good on-ball defense by Anderson for much of that possession. But Curry in the end was able to get by him and draw the foul.
First foul of the evening, or afternoon should I say, for Marcel Anderson.
We're moving close to early evening at this point though. 4:32 on the East Coast.
It's been a quick game so far.
It has.
57-56, the Red Claws have reclaimed the lead. 7:25 left here in the third quarter. Pete Souza, Sam Dossler, Armor Red Claws from the Mass Mutual Center on a Sunday afternoon. And we are locked at 57. After the second free throw from Curry is good. Justin Johnson emerges from the Armor bench, gets set to check in around the scores table. Chris Wright, top flight right they call him. Sends Willie Reed toppling to the floor.
It's the right call that time as Wright went into the lane and was out of control.
All kinds of wordplay over here right now.
Well, these two teams, they see each other quite often. This is the first of 3 straight games between these squads. They've already played once this season.
Dennis Horner made up his mind around the three-point line, went to the hoop, off the mark, but Willie Reed cleans up the mess.
Good tip back by Reed, had his back to the rim, and he was able to tip it through.
Wright controls, backs his way to the basket,
Finds Frank Gaines. Gaines elevates and knocks down the three. The all-time leader in point history for IPFW. Knocks down a tray.
These teams really starting to go back and forth. We could be in store for a fun finish. It's getting physical down there as well.
Jameson Curry finds Forbes. Forbes pump fakes, pulls the trigger, and knocks it down.
Nice shot by Forbes, working off the bounce that time.
61-60, Armor lead, looking for their first win of the season here at home on a Sunday afternoon. Babb absorbs contact and can't finish. Adonis Thomas hit with the whistle. His third.
The Armor not only looking to snap a 4-game losing streak to start this season, but going back to last year, they've lost 9 straight, so Springfield trying to find themselves back in the right side of the win column.
Timeout on the floor, we'll step aside. Armor up by 1, 5:58 left, third quarter. Pete Souza, Sam Dossler, NBA Development League Network, Sports Radio 1450 The Hall. Mutual Center. The Armor with a 1-point advantage, 61-60. Pete Souza, Sam Dossler. Sunday afternoon as both teams take to the floor in what has been a competitive contest. 7 lead changes. 3 times this game has been tied. The Armor have been led by Gary Forbes in his 15 points and Willie Reed in his 12 points. On the other side, Chris Wright, 28 points last night, 16 points so far this afternoon.
And neither team has been separated by more than 10 points at any point. Largest lead for the Red Claws, 9. And the Armor, they haven't led by more than 5.
Chris Babb at the free throw line after that foul before the break. Babb with 6 points on the afternoon. Strong point guard is Babb. And a strong showing at the free throw line there, giving his team a 1-point advantage.
And that's where the Red Claws, they've really struggled from the line, but 2 for 2 there for the Red Claws. That only elevates them to 50% on the afternoon.
Forbes knifing to the hole from the right side.
Forbes having his way. 17 points for the game, 6 in this quarter alone.
Likes to operate from that right wing and does so successfully there. Chris Wright to the hole, fading away. Off the mark, but right there is Ty Walker.
Just throw it up there soft, and if it doesn't go in, hope your teammate can come over and put a tip on it.
Forbes finds Curry. Curry
Looking to dial up a three. He does. Off the mark. Offensive rebound, Reed. Coach Doug Overton calling for motion from the Armor bench. Elevating is Forbes. Off the mark, rebound Walker. Marcel Anderson to Frank Gaines. You got to watch Gaines pretty much from wherever he is. And right there, the Armor get him with a double team.
Got to watch a lot of these Red Claw players. Percentage-wise, best three-point shooting team in the league coming in. Struggling today, though, 6 of 17 from distance, but a team that can shoot it like them, they can really get it going at any time.
Justin Johnson checks into the game with 14 points.
What a spark he provided in the first half, coming off the bench.
Anderson caught Johnson napping.
Johnson thought he was going to go left. He went right, and it resulted in the easy layup.
.15 on the shot clock. Johnson between the rings, calling for a screen. Against a double team, Johnson finds Thomas, who finds Hubbard.
Good defensive sequence by the Red Claws there. They didn't let the Armor get an open look. Thomas thought he was going to have a look from three, didn't have it. Hubbard thought he was going to have a look from the top of the key. He was forced to put it on the ground, and that's when he walked with it, called for the travel. 7th turnover of the game for the Armor. Clean played game so far this afternoon. Not a lot of turnovers.
Right. Splits a double team. And is fouled by Willie Reed.
Just 18 turnovers combined between the two squads.
4 fouls for Willie Reed. Right. Received a call up to the Golden State Warriors in the 2011-2012 season. Played 24 games with the Warriors. As a guy who NBA personnel people have always kept an eye on when he's been down in the D-League at 25 years of age. Right, has been one of the better players in the NBA Development League over the past 2 seasons.
But he's got that awful title of tweener. The 3-4. Can play the 4 great at the D-League level, but not quite big enough to play it at that NBA level. If he can improve his handle a little bit, and I'm sure he's working on it, he's the type of guy who could make an impact at the NBA level and stick around for a while.
16 points for Wright. Gary Forbes, always determined, loses the basketball there.
He's been good off the bounce this afternoon so far, but that time he might have over-penetrated a bit, ran into a couple Red Claw defenders, and he turned it over.
Asby checks in for Wright. 5-point Maine advantage with the basketball.
I think it's important for Forbes the last 3.5 minutes of this third quarter. He's got to be careful. He's playing with 4 fouls right now. He can't pick up a 5th.
Offensive foul. Ty Walker clearing out.
For Forbes, the UMass alum. It was a big UMass weekend here. They beat BYU yesterday here at the Mass Mutual Center, 105-96 in front of a big crowd.
Hubbard gets Walker in the air, can't finish. Babb controls, right side. Finds Walker, who finds Asby. 8 on the shot clock. Asby's going to have to hurry. Shot blocked by Horner. And here comes Gary Forbes. Offensive foul by Gary Forbes.
And that's a tough call. Forbes seemed to be under control. It didn't appear that the defender, I think it was Babs, had his feet set, but Forbes and the Armor get the bad news. That's the 5th foul on Gary Forbes.
Timeout on the floor. We'll step aside. Armor trail by 5. 2:53 left, third quarter. Sports Radio 1450, The Hall, NBA Development League Network. Back at the Mass Mutual Center, Pete Souza alongside Sammy Dossler, where the Armor working against a 4-point deficit, 67-63, Red Claws lead. 2:53 left in the third quarter. Competitive game so far. 10 lead changes, Sam.
10 lead changes, 4 ties. It's been a fun game. Both teams playing pretty well. Maine holding up so far in the second of back-to-backs.
Frank Gaines to the hole, denied by Horner. And here come the Armor, led by Bruce Massey. Left side, it's Johnson. Knocked out of his hands by Anderson.
We'll see if Johnson can start to get into the flow again offensively. 14 first-half points. Yet to score here in the second half. He was a big part of what the Armor did offensively in that first half of play.
17 on the shot clock, Armor on the attack. Adonis Thomas draws a double team. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Ullman. So with 7 on the shot clock, Springfield will regroup. Bruce Massey, defensive specialist, will inbound on the offensive end. Justin Johnson, the right guy. Pistons always pumping. Floater's no good, but he's fouled.
Looks like they're going to hit Anderson there with the push from behind. And we'll see if Johnson can convert on a couple free throws here. Sometimes what a scorer needs. He hasn't had all that many looks here in the second half, but a scorer sometimes just needs to see that ball go through the hoop. He'll try to do that here.
The Armor now 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Johnson 3 of 3. Five-second call. Yeah, Sam, you were all over that one.
Osby thought it was a bit quick, but they hit him with the 5.
Johnson controls off the inbounds. Left side, Marcus Hubbard raises. Shot is good.
And Hubbard, he's a guy, he's shown a couple times, continues to show that he can step away from the basket and knock it down.
7 points for Hubbard. Turnover. Here comes Adonis Thomas. Into the teeth of the Maine defense. Thomas can't finish, but he's fouled.
Good take, though, by Thomas, out in transition. Made the right choice, I think, holding on to the basketball and taking it himself. And the Armor have a chance to tie, or if they hit both free throws, take the lead late here in the third quarter.
Adonis Thomas played 2 seasons at Memphis before entering the NBA draft, went undrafted and was signed as a free agent by the Atlanta Hawks. Went to camp with the Hawks, was waived, subsequently acquired by the Brooklyn Nets. Played preseason in Brooklyn. The Nets didn't love him, but they liked him, shipping him to Springfield as one of their affiliate players, the other being Gary Forbes. (69-68), Armor lead. Frank Gaines never met a shot he didn't like, and he liked that one.
Ooh, tough shot. Massey right in his grill. But Gaines able to knock down the tough three-pointer and give the Red Claws back the lead.
When a defender like Massey has a hand in your face, that is a daunting task.
Make that a deep 2, actually.
Johnson loses Gaddy, but Allman finds him. Dennis Horner, clean look at a 3. Got it, Dennis. They're going to call it a 2.
Shot clock was expiring as he released it, but Horner able to knock it down.
Gaddy, fouled by Horner. Excuse me, make that Asby. And he'll go back to the free throw line.
Armor moving the ball well offensively in the last few possessions. It was a
a good swing pass to Horner along the baseline that led to that open jumper.
Nice rotation by the Armor there. 1 point, Springfield advantage. Asby with a chance to give his team the lead. Ties the game. 11th time. Excuse me, the 5th time this game has been tied. This would be the 11th lead change. And it's not. Hubbard grabs the rebound, hands off to Massey. Under a minute left in the third quarter. Bruce Massey, left side, Justin Johnson. Johnson, banged by Gaddy. Third foul of the afternoon for Gaddy.
All of a sudden, Johnson back to the line, where he just made a couple. The Armor, the best free throw shooting team in the league, 77%.
16 points for Justin Johnson. 24 points was his career high. Scored last Saturday at Canton. Chris Wright checks into the game, or doesn't. Jason Goldenberg had a conversation with Mike Taylor. Now he's going to have a conversation with his court, Josue Nieves. Justin Johnson at the free throw line. Nieves explaining the situation to Mike Taylor. Taylor in his second year with the Red Claws, 29 and 24 overall over the course of those 2 years. His team is 3-1 this season, coming off a loss last night at home to Idaho, trying to avoid losing 2 straight here.
Well, the issue at hand right here is Asby is nursing something with his right leg, and the Red Claws, they want to substitute right in, but because it's the first free throw, they can't do it yet until after the first free throw, and the referees are saying that you would have to call timeout if you want to do the substitution right now. So now they can do the substitution because it's at the regular time for doing substitutions between foul shots. So finally now Wright can check in for Osby, who, despite looking like some severe pain in that right leg, he had to stand out there for another 10 seconds or so.
Sam Dossler all over it. Justin Johnson all over the scoring column tonight. He's got 17 points.
Speculated. It looked like Osby was grabbing at that right hamstring area. Not a doctor, of course, so that's a major speculation.
Gaddy off the mark. Armor
can go 2 for 1 here.
Johnson finds Horner. Splitting a double team is Dennis Horner, but he traveled. Coach Doug Overton doesn't like it, nor does the Armor faithful. Gaddy takes the ball across half court. Shot clock turned off. Game clock at 13. Maine going to play for 1. Left side, Chris Wright, jumper. Way off. From half court, it's Johnson. Just misses. Chris Wright, that air ball, indicative of the fact that the Red Claws could be losing their legs on the second end of this back-to-back. We'll find out in the fourth quarter. 72-71 Armor lead. You're listening to Sports Radio 1450 The Hall and watching the NBA Development League.
Mutual Center, the Armor, clinging to a 1-point advantage as the fourth quarter is upon us.
First lead for the Armor in the fourth quarter all season long.
Justin Johnson and company going to try to extend that lead. Johnson, jumper, got it.
Nice job by Johnson, came around the screen and knocked down the foul line jumper.
Cam Taylor into the game for the Red Claws. Frank Gaines from the corner off the mark. Three-point advantage for Springfield, 11:22 left in the fourth quarter. Fresh 24 for the Red Claws to work with. Cam Taylor, Minneapolis, Minnesota native, Wisconsin product, Big Ten country. Kicks it to Babb, who's off the mark.
And Springfield with Forbes on the bench with 5 fouls. He picked up that 5th foul, 2:53 to go in the third. Springfield on a 10-4 run since then.
Justin Johnson with 18 points. Draws a triple team. Hubbard wide open. Shot clock expires, and Hubbard's way off the mark.
Hubbard, who has knocked down a three-pointer in this game, came up short there, had to put it up as the shot clock was set to expire, but he's shown that he is a guy that can knock down that shot, and I think that's going to be big for the Armor this year because it can really spread out the floor, gives the guards a lot more room to operate inside the arc, and it also opens up that drive and kick.
Talked to Chris Carroll before the game. Hubbard, they're really happy with him as an acquisition. More on that later as Chris Wright powers to the hole and is fouled by Dennis Horner. He'll take a trip to the charity stripe. Back to Hubbard. He's a guy that talks in the locker room, talks on the floor. You know, he'll be 30 on December 23rd. Brings a lot to this team as a player and with his experience.
He does. He's a guy that's been there. He's done it before. He knows what it takes, and he knows what it takes to stick around, which is just what he's done. 7th year of professional basketball. Came out of a small school, Angelo State, so he's always been fighting for what he has, and he continues to fight, and now he's in that position where he can really, of course, trying to help himself out, but help out the younger kids as well, younger players as well.
Wright hits both free throws. 17 points on the evening for Chris Wright. Johnson gets a screen from Hubbard. Fade away, off the mark. Right to the hole, penetration off the mark, but he's fouled.
It'll be interesting to watch what sort of rotation Maine goes with in this fourth quarter on the second day of a back-to-back. Are they going to shrink it or are they going to keep it as large? And also you got to factor in Asby went down with that leg injury, and he seemed to be in some pain, and you look over, I think they're putting some ice on that right leg of his, so not sure if he'll even be able to come back into the contest.
Ryan Donovan, the Red Claws trainer, spending an awful lot of time with Asby on the main bench. First attempt for Wright is good, and he converts the second. 19 on the evening, or excuse me, should I say afternoon, as we approach the evening, by Chris Wright. 28 points last night in his team's loss at Idaho. Inside 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, locked at 74. Justin Johnson, shot denied by Wright. And here come the Red Claws. Frank Gaines in the open floor to 2 points.
Top of the key, Adonis Thomas. Spinning to the hole is Thomas. Shots off the mark. Rebound, Frank Gaines.
All of a sudden a lid on that basket for the Armor, but a turnover there.
Gary Forbes set to check into the game. Forbes with 5 fouls. We'll have to be careful. We are inside 9 minutes. Excuse me, inside 10 minutes, 9:21 left. Forbes has been told he'll have to hold on, and he does. Right side, Horner. Top of the key, Jameson Curry. A lot of scoring on the floor now, or scoring potential on the floor for the Armor, as Willie Reed is wrapped up by Damon Bell-Holter.
And that'll officially send Gary Forbes back into the game. 9:07 to go. Coming back in with those 5 fouls.
Damon Bell-Holter. With another foul in. Josue Nieves will check in at the scores table. We'll talk things over now as we're having some problems with the scoreboard.
This was an issue we had last year with the scoreboard as well. It would shut off at times, and earlier in the game we had the issue where the game clock wasn't counting tenths of seconds, just seconds. And now,
sorry, Sam.
Now it looks like we're 1 point behind up top. It was 75-74 Maine instead of the correct 76-74 Maine, and they've made that correction, so it looks like we're set to go.
We are set to go. 4th foul for Bell-Holter. Gary Forbes with 5 fouls. Willie Reed! Everything right about that one for Willie. Nice dive to the hole and a nice finish.
Slipped the pick and roll and was all alone underneath the hoop.
Bell-Holter grabs the Taylor miss and puts it up and in.
Not a smart play by Curry. Should have just let that one go. Instead, he tried to reach in and swat at the ball. Instead, he got a lot of wrist and arm, and now it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Bell-Holter grew up in Heidelberg, Alaska. Population 350. Hard-working post player. Has a nice mid-range game to go with that. Finishes the 3-point play, giving his team a 3-point lead. Left side, it's Gary Forbes. Forbes with 5 fouls. To the rack goes Forbes.
Good take by Forbes. Rolled his defender to the right, then went left and laid it in.
Gary Forbes has that jump shot, but so often this evening we have seen him go right to the 10.
Well, he really has the size with that handle to overpower a lot of defenders, and that could be number 6 on Forbes.
And he heads right for the bench, and it is.
So he checks in with 9:07 to go, and with 5 fouls, he comes in, picks up a bucket, but with 8:22 to go, and Maine on top by 1. Gary Forbes and his 19 points has fouled out of this game.
Glaring at Kyle Regetz is Forbes now. Very unhappy with the officiating this evening. And why wouldn't he be? He's got 6 fouls and he's out of the game.
Well, Forbes still barking. Head coach Doug Overton had to put up a hand to say, that's enough already. And you go all the way back to the beginning of the game. A couple times Forbes went to the bucket and didn't get a call. He thought he was hit, thought he had some contact against him, and no calls were made. So his frustration's been going all day long. So hopefully for the Armor it doesn't boil over.
Babb misses both free throw attempts. Armor have a chance to tie or take the lead. Curry between his legs. Splits a double team. Gets the ball to Horner. Willie Reed from the baseline to the 10. Ramming it home with authority.
And what a pass by Horner. Drove into the lane, dropped it off to Willie Reed, and he did the rest. Willie's had some loud buckets today for sure.
1 point advantage for the Armor as the Springfield crowd has grown loud. Taylor off the mark. Rebound Armor.
chance to extend the lead. Justin Johnson with 19 points, closing in on that career high, which he registered last Saturday at Canton. 24 points it was. Johnson off the dribble, off the mark. Reed's follow, no. Rebound, Babb.
Good aggressive rebound by Willie. Just a little short on the putback jumper.
80-79, Armour lead by 1. Right off the mark.
Double-double now for Reed with that rebound, 19 and 10.
Curry quickly into the forecourt, puts it in reverse.
Excuse me, 14 and 10 for Willie Reed. Forbes has the 19.
7 on the shot clock. Thomas from long distance, off the mark. Armour grab the offensive board. Curry looks to slow things down. Jameson working on Chris Wright, tries to take advantage of the mismatch. Can't do it, but Willie Reed can. Willie found himself wide open after 2 players converged on Curry.
Somehow that ball found its way to Willie Reed after Curry stumbled into the lane.
Frank Gaines from 3, off the mark. Armour changing the pace here, have slowed things down, gotten into their half-court set on offense.
A lot of guys sucking wind on both sides, especially for Maine. A lot of mouths hanging open after the Armour slowed things down there.
Curry to Horner. Horner steps on the end line after receiving the pass from Jameson. We've got a timeout on the floor, and the Armour take a 3-point advantage into the timeout. You're listening, Sports Radio 1450 The Hall, and watching the NBA Development League Network. Back at the Mass Mutual Center where the Armour lead by 3 here as we head down the stretch on this Sunday afternoon. Willie Reed, 20 points, another double-double for him. And Chris Wright, 18 points on the other side for the Red Claws. Maine will be on the attack with a chance to cut the lead to 1 or possibly tie this basketball game.
Right side, Ty Walker. Gains to Bell Holter. Bell Holter to the glass, to the tin, to the basket.
Bill Holter having a nice game for himself. 8 points now to go along with 7 rebounds.
James Curry, left block, Willie Reed. Willie shakes, dribbles off his foot. Frank Gaines with the basketball. Gaines denied by Dennis Horner. Nice trailing defense by Dennis.
And you got it, the credit has to start with Curry. He slowed up Gaines, got in his way, and it slowed him down just enough for Horner, who was sprinting the entire way back to come away with the block.
82-81, Armour lead. Maine with a chance to tie or take the lead. Left side, Anderson. Scoots to the hole, draws 2, and finds Bell Holter. Bell Holter, eager to dial from long distance this evening and all season long. He is 0 for 10 on the year.
Not the shot the Red Claws were looking for in that situation, but you have to credit the Springfield defense because it forced the Red Claws into taking a less than desirable shot.
James Curry. Armour worked the perimeter. Justin Johnson penetrates and pulls it out. Jameson, 3 try off the mark.
Good D by Gaines, had a hand in the face of Curry.
Frank Gaines splits the double team to the hole, to the glass, good.
Tough finish. Willie Reed went straight up, altered the shot, but Gaines still able to finish.
Horner, good look at a 3. Mike Taylor wants a timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. (83-82) advantage for the Red Claws. 4:16 left in the fourth quarter.
The Armour, they came into this final frame with their first lead after 3 quarters on the season, 72-71, but the Red Claws, they've done a good job here. Gary Forbes has fouled out of the game, fouled out with 8:22 left. Maine was on top at that point, 79-78. Forbes has really been the go-to guy offensively for Springfield for a lot of this season. He was their leading scorer coming in, 16 points a contest. So it'll be interesting to see what the Armour do offensively throughout the remainder of this contest.
So far offensively, the Armour shooting 43% from the field and just 16% from 3. At one point in this game, they were 2 of 4. Since then, they have been 0 of 8. Anderson holds the ball, dribbling in the logo. Eight on the shot clock. Top of the key, Babb. Babb from Hartford, off the mark.
Willie Reed, a little trouble grabbing that rebound down there, but he finally did grab it and get it off to Curry.
James Curry going to look to give his team the lead. Justin Johnson with 19 points, controls outside the arc. Sweeping to the hole is Johnson, off the mark. Anderson squirts into the forecourt. Off the glass with the left hand, is good.
Curry didn't know which way to turn. Anderson was the benefactor with the layup.
James Curry calling the signals down the stretch for the Armour. Picks up his dribble. Thomas, baseline, over the rim. Rebound, Dennis Horner. Horner can't finish. Body's banging, and we've got a foul on the floor. Willie Reed on the floor. Adonis Thomas grabbing onto his right knee.
And it looks like we're going to have to get a sub for Thomas. His right knee got banged.
Not quite sure now. if Thomas is going to be able to exit the game without the Armor calling a timeout. Bruce Massey has already replaced him and is ready to inbound.
Doesn't look like they're going to let Massey come into the game unless the Armor call a timeout. And now they don't even give Doug Overton a chance to call the timeout. They whistle it up and say, let's go.
Ty Walker controls. Marcel Anderson. Anderson always moving quickly. Shots off the mark.
So the Armor, in essence, playing 4-on-5 right now, and Doug Overton will now call a timeout so he can get Massey into the game.
Timeout on the floor. Full timeout. Maine leads by 3. You're listening. Sports Radio 1450 The Hall and watching the NBA Development League Network. Back to action here at the Mass Mutual Center. We will be shortly. Now we are. Armor trying to cut into that three-point lead, could possibly tie this game. Justin Johnson controls. With 19 points, Johnson makes his way towards the rack. Spinning in traffic, Johnson off the mark. Body spill, an effort to grab the basketball. We've got a whistle and we've got a jump ball. Josue Nieves was all over it, calling for the jump right away. Jason Goldenberg will head towards the scores table. We will have a jump ball.
Well, you would have to say that the Armors would appear to have the advantage, as it's going to be Gaines going up against Willie Reed. Frank Gaines just 6'3", while Reed stands at 6'10".
Reed makes him look a lot shorter than that. Getting set to jump it up is Jason Goldenberg. Crucial jump ball is won by the Armor.
Horner had to wrestle it away from Babs.
Johnson going to call the signals. Screen from Reed. Ten on the shot clock. Turnover Armor. Frank Gaines in transition. Foul.
Curry got caught in between, thought he was going to have an open look. Didn't, so he tried to pass it at the last second, and he threw it away. And the Red Claws, they were off and running.
Fouls on Willie Reed, his fifth. Gaines to the free throw line. 13 points on the afternoon for Gaines. First attempt is no good.
Gaines now just 1 for 3 from the charity stripe. Maine 17 of 32, make it 18 of 33 as he hits the second, but a lot of points left at that foul line this afternoon by Maine.
Johnson elevates, knocks down a crucial jump shot.
Big bucket there for the Armor as we move late into this game, late into this final quarter. The Armor got to stay in touch.
Frank Gaines, the combo guard, going to run point. Moves it to Babb, who will now direct traffic. Babb goes one-on-one with Massey. Massey, a lockdown defender in his face, forcing Babb to pass, and Anderson can't complete it.
Dangerous cross-court pass by Curry.
15 on the shot clock, 1:14 on the game clock. Armor trail by 2. Johnson ties the game at 86.
Just over the outstretched arms of the shot blocker, Ty Walker. 23 now for Johnson.
And we are tied at 86 with 1 minute left. 10 on the shot clock. Ty Walker can't reel in the pass from Anderson, and Mike Taylor wants a timeout. 86-86, 56 seconds left in the fourth frame. You're listening to Sports Radio 1450 and watching the NBA Development League Network. Back to action here at the Mass Mutual Center. 86-86. Frank Gaines will pull the trigger for Maine. Gaines, off balance, jumper, sinks it. Big shot.
Play that was drawn up in the huddle by head coach Mike Taylor, working to perfection there.
Johnson getting physical with Anderson. 12 on the shot clock. Curry going to try to have to make something happen. Finds Johnson. Johnson in traffic. Another big shot for Justin Johnson. 23 points for Johnson. 2-point lead for the Armor.
Johnson has been big down the stretch. Big shot after big shot for the Springfield team. Marcel
Anderson gets a screen from Walker. Anderson goes one-on-one with Johnson. Justin Johnson not only fouled Anderson as he made the layup, but just got whistled for a technical foul.
Johnson cannot afford to do that. I understand he's frustrated over the fact that he's called for the foul and gave up the go-ahead basket, but after the call was made, he took the basketball and threw it soccer pass style against the padding underneath the hoop, and that's going to cost the Armor possibly an extra point, something you cannot afford at this point of the game.
Chris Babb will shoot the tech, knocks it down.
And this could end up being a 5-point possession for Maine.
Anderson now at the free throw line. His first 2 points of the game give Maine the lead. Possibly a third coming right here, which could extend that lead to 4 points. Second attempt is good. Timeout on the floor.
All right, my mistake. I said it could be a 5-point possession, but a 4-point possession because it was just one shot after the foul. chance for trying to convert the old-fashioned three-point play.
So the Armor will have the basketball as they trail by 4 when we come out of this timeout with just over 20 seconds left. Gary Forbes out of the game, has fouled out. Willie Reed, been a big part of the Armor's success this afternoon. 18 points. A lot of that coming off working the offensive glass. Justin Johnson scored the Armor's last 4 points, 2 critical buckets, but a critical technical foul assessed to Johnson just moments ago. Armor take the floor with Curry, Johnson, Reed, Horner, and Massey. Maine answers with Wright, Walker, Gaines, Babb, and Anderson. Johnson receives the inbounds pass. Tries to take matters into his own hands. Can't do it. Shots off the mark. Reed grabs the offensive board. Massey look at a 3. Way off. Reed grabs the offensive board and is fouled. Trying to convert the putback.
The good news for the Armor is that Reed has a chance to hit a couple free throws. The bad news is that possession there took about 15 seconds, and there's just 4.8 ticks left on the clock, and the Armor, they're down 4. You wonder if Reed makes the first, if they'll miss the second intentionally and look for the three-pointer.
Well, unintentionally, Reed misses the first. Armor. Still an uphill battle left ahead. Trail by 4. Hubbard checks into the game, defensive substitution. Replaces Bruce Massey. Second attempt coming from Willie. It's good.
And he tried to miss that one. Coach Doug Overton was telling him to miss it, and you could see on Reed's face that he was frustrated that it went in, so the Armor flip-flop what they want to do with those free throws, and just 4.8 seconds to go. They find themselves down by 3 in a tough predicament. So we got a timeout called. So the Armor are going to have to look to steal the inbound pass, and if they can't do that, they're going to have to foul right away. And then hope that Maine misses some free throws. Maine has struggled from the foul line today. 20 of 35, just a shade over 57%. They came in the second worst free throw shooting team in the league at 68%. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Armor could get some misses from the foul line.
92-89. Armor trail by 3. Armor have been led by Justin Johnson, 10 of 19 on the evening. 25 points. Has made 2 of his last 3 baskets. Anderson receives the inbound and is fouled quickly by Johnson.
Anderson 1 for 1 from the foul line today. He had his only trip to the foul line come a couple moments ago after he hit the go-ahead bucket. Converted on the back end of the three-point play.
Anderson bends his knees. Free throw attempt is off the mark. Armor still down by 3. It's a one-possession game as of right now.
The Armor clinging to life, looking for their first win of the season.
Second attempt is converted. Desperation time now for Springfield. Pass intended for Curry, sails out of bounds, and that should just about do it.
4-point lead, 3.5 seconds to go, and the Armor, who led for the first time all season long at the start of the fourth quarter, are looking at dropping their 5th straight game to start the year.
Walker receives the inbounds, and no foul called, and that'll do it. The Armor dropped their 5th straight, 0-5 on the season, 93-89.
So for those of you listening on the radio, stick with us. We'll have a bit of a post-game show for everybody watching on the NBA Development Network. Pete's heading over. He's going to talk with the Armor player of the game, and then he'll wrap things up from a TV standpoint over there. Again, the Armor falling 93-89 to the Maine Red Claws.
And the Red Claws pick up their 4th win of the season to move to 4-1, while the Armor, they fall to 0-5. And going back to last season, they have lost 10 straight games. This was the first of 3 straight between these two teams. They'll be back at it next Friday the 13th. That game will be at Maine before wrapping up the 3-game series with a 7 p.m. home game here on the 14th, the Saturday. That'll be our next broadcast. The Armor, they led by 1 entering the 4th quarter, but they could not come away with it in the end. And Pete Sousa is going to be joined by Justin Johnson. But for those of you still with us on the radio, Springfield, once again, they dropped 93 to 89. We're going to give you some quick final stats before wrapping things up. First, for the visitors, the Maine Red Claws, playing the 2nd game of a back-to-back. Damon Bellholter, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Chris Wright, he led the way again for Maine, 21 points and 8 rebounds. Romero Osby, he played well, but he did come up lame. Maybe a hamstring injury, some sort of injury. 11 points and 5 rebounds for him. Chris Babb.
Pete Sousa with Justin Johnson as the Armor drop a disappointing 93-89 loss to the Red Claws at home. Justin, silver lining, 25 points, a career high for you tonight.
Yeah, I just wanted to come out, be aggressive, bring energy off the bench on defense, and kind of make plays on offense, get in the paint, you know, make aggressive plays, get to the free throw line.
Well, you made aggressive plays all evening long, and down the stretch you had 2 huge buckets, putting your team right there.
Yeah, I felt like the big man was kind of sagging off in the paint, so I had a clean shot at the elbow. Hit a few, missed some few, but I still got to stay aggressive.
24 points last Saturday, a career high. 25 points this Sunday, another career high. What's been the key to your success so early in the season?
Just being aggressive. I think coach has really let me play my game. He really wants me to come in, bring energy off the bench, and that's what I'm going to keep doing all season long.
A lot of energy. Look for more of it. Justin Johnson, thanks a lot. Armor will fall at home today, 93-89.
13 times. For Springfield, Adonis Thomas, 8 points and 2 rebounds. Dennis Horner, 6 points, 8 rebounds. Willie Reed, another double-double for him, his 3rd of the season, 19 points and 17 rebounds. He was very strong for Springfield. Gary Forbes, 19 points, 2 rebounds, but he did foul out of the contest with 8:22 to go, and Springfield down by just 1. James Curry, just 5 points today after scoring 19 points on Friday. He also grabbed 3 rebounds, only attempted 5 shots, 2 of 5 from the floor. Justin Johnson, the leading scorer for the Armor, 25 points and 35.5 minutes off the bench. He was 10 of 19 from the floor, grabbed a few rebounds as well. Marcus Hubbard played fairly well, 7.7 rebounds. Jeff Foote, dealing with some back issues, just played under 5 minutes, did not score, grabbed the rebound, did not attempt a shot. Bruce Massey played just under 11 minutes. He did not score, attempting just 2 shots, grabbed a couple of rebounds. Some percentages for the Armor, 41.6% from the floor, 37 of 89, 2 for 13 from three-point, 15.4%. They continue to struggle from behind the arc after coming in shooting at just a 23% clip, last in the league. They did shoot it well from the foul line again, 76.5%, 13 of 17. The Armor led the rebounding battle, grabbing 45 to just 39 for the Red Claws, and they turned the ball over 14 times to 13 turnovers for Maine.